The romance genre has always been something that interested me. Some of my favorite anime are romance, and it's probably the genre I consume the most outside of straight-up slice-of-life anime. I know that the genre is not everyone's cup of tea, and I definitely understand. Not everyone likes watching this silly dance of, oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to finally get together? No, never mind. No, it's fine, everybody. She's just doing the tsundere thing again. But the reason that I watch so many romance anime is because of love. It's a very strange word to me. Some people toss it around casually, while others hold it very close to their hearts. It has many different meanings because a lot of people interpret the word differently. And through watching or reading romance, I get to see many different people's depiction of love, or at least the fantasized version of it. So that's why I decided to give Sasaki and Miyano a try. It is a romance anime that is currently airing during winter 2022. And surprisingly enough, it stars Sasaki and Miyano. Miyano is a guy who is really into BL or boys love manga, but he is very embarrassed about his hobby and always tries to hide it. Sasaki is a very cool and handsome Giga Chad upperclassman. They met by chance one day when Miyano saw one of his friends being beaten up. He quickly called for help and they said that they were on their way, but who knows how quickly they could actually get there. Miyano decides he's going to go out there to help his friend, but then Sasaki stops him. He sees that Miyano does not look cut out for fighting, so he decides to break up the fight himself. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty badass. After the scuffle, Sasaki is left alone, now sporting a couple of bruises, wondering where Miyano went, and also wondering why he's thinking about Miyano so much. After all, he's a guy. Why is Miyano just stuck in his head? Their mutual friend Hirono comes up to ask if he is okay, and if he remembers what the attackers looked like. But Sasaki's focus was directed elsewhere, until Hirono says that he came with a message from the boy who reported the incident. Miyano wanted to thank him for what he did. It was a simple message, but when a message comes from the right person, the most basic things can make your heart race. From here, the two of them become friends, and the relationship is pretty adorable. My teeth were starting to rot from how sweet these characters were, and their friendship continues to progress through their common hobby. A hobby that at first Sasaki didn't even know he had, and that hobby was reading BL manga. Sasaki sees how much Miyano enjoys them, so he wants to start reading them himself. So he asks for a manga recommendation. And even though Miyano was very embarrassed about his taste in manga, he decides to let him borrow a BL manga that he thinks Sasaki would like. When they reconvene after he is finished, Miyano is very surprised to hear that he actually enjoyed it. Sasaki was thrown off at first, of course. He believed it to be a standard detective story, only later realizing that it was a boys love manga. But despite that, he still ended up really liking it. They discuss their favorite parts of the manga together, and at the end, Sasaki even asks for another one. They continue to do this sort of manga exchange, and at a point it is mentioned that Sasaki has already read over 30 manga from Miyano. Their budding feelings towards each other are reflected through their discussions and feelings towards BL manga, and it is pretty cool to see. Now, if it wasn't already apparent, yes, this is a BL or boys love anime. I have seen a handful of boys love and girls love anime and enjoyed most of the ones that I've watched. But I am definitely not an expert on them, especially the terminology. Fujoshi, Fudanshi, Uke, Seme, all of these are brand new words to me, so if I get anything wrong, I do apologize. But something that became apparent to me as I watched this anime is that there are some stories that wouldn't really work in a different setting, and this is one of those stories. When Sasaki is asked why he is reading BL manga by one of his friends, he says that it's because he enjoys it and he believes that the particular story he was reading would not have worked if it wasn't a BL, which is very true sometimes. In this anime, the characters are not only falling in love, but they are also discovering something about themselves. Both Sasaki and Miyano have always thought that they were into girls, but meeting this person that really clicked with them and cared about their interests felt magical. Sasaki from the beginning always felt an attraction towards Miyano, but wondered why he had these feelings for another boy. Miyano openly stated that he enjoyed reading BL manga, but did not want to have a BL experience himself. But as their relationship progresses, that statement starts to become less definitive. The way that he sees Sasaki starts to shift. And this is solidified after Sasaki confesses to Miyano. Sasaki was really struggling up to this point because it's impossible to know exactly what is going on in another person's head. As far as he knew, that statement that Miyano had said that he did not want a BL experience still held true. But as he spent more and more time with Miyano, he started loving more and more about him. The way he got excited when he talked about manga, that he always remembered the little things, the way that he would look right at him and see him for who he truly is. He would always try to hold these feelings back. Sometimes he wouldn't be able to, but he didn't want to burden Miyano with these feelings if he would never be able to reciprocate them. These thoughts that he had about Miyano started bubbling over, and eventually they reached a tipping point where he couldn't hold back any longer. He confesses to Miyano. Sasaki didn't expect anything from this besides the relief of finally being able to get that off of his chest, so he tells Miyano that he can wait for a response. Miyano says that he will think on it, and later we get this beautiful moment where Miyano asks if Sasaki likes boys. He responds with, "I don't really think so, why do you ask?" "Well then, why do you like me?" He says, "Well yeah, it's strange. Whenever I'm around you, I just can't help but feel that way." Miyano looks away, seemingly lost in thought, and Sasaki does something odd. He thanks him for giving it some serious thought. Miyano hasn't even given him an actual answer yet, but he just appreciates that he didn't immediately dismiss his feelings. Sasaki was someone that he admired. He was a senpai that he looked up to, and he wanted to be more like him. And these feelings of admiration are very easy to confuse with feelings of love. Miyano has never thought about romantic feelings with someone of the same gender, but the way that he's tried to actually get to know him made him realize that there might be other feelings buried besides just admiration. So he wanted to give this situation some real thought and give Sasaki a genuine answer. This is a beautiful story so far, and I don't think that this scenario could have worked outside of BL. It is a wonderful thought that there can be someone out there that you love so much that you will change the way that you think and even who you are normally attracted to for. As I'm recording this, 6 episodes have released so far, and to be honest, it makes me want to read the manga. Because in a lot of romance anime, after the confession scene happens, this is usually where the anime starts wrapping up. But in this anime, the confession happened as early as episode 5. So where do we go from here? Now they can explore both of these characters coming to terms with who they really are and how they actually feel. Are these characters actually into men, or did they find someone special enough to them that they are willing to change their past beliefs to be with that person? It is a very interesting topic that they could touch on, and it's something that could only be done in a BL anime. If you watched the entire video, then thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed today's video, then hopefully you will consider subscribing. If you want to hear me talk about anime live and in person, I also have a Twitch. All of my socials are linked down below. So again, thank you very much for watching, and just remember, you don't have to believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in the me that believes in you, and I'll see you in the next video.